motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. Join the racing crowd right now for tonight's live broadcast at Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Now, it's time for your weekly look at the local racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports. Coming to you live in Milwaukee on the Big 920, in Madison on the Big 1070, and worldwide on iHeartRadio. Here's your host for the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Tretow.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to a Tuesday evening edition. Yeah, we do. Okay, it's every Tuesday. It's every Tuesday between now and September. Thank you for being part of our 31st season of the Racing Roundup Show. We're in Milwaukee in the Big 920, and on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. Now, keep in mind, you can also see what we're doing. We've got a camera and a webcast going. You can hear and see us online at racingroundup.net. You'll want to tune into that just for a glimpse if you're not able to join us here at Paulies Pub and Eatery, because we've got the trophy that John DiPiazza took home. It is an actual crank, and the tree, if you will, on the drag racing tree are actually pretty cool looking. We got lifters on there. The valves themselves have been polished, and are the lights on the tree, and it's a trophy he banked 25 G's with to win in Memphis. John is here. We're previewing the Route 66 Raceway NHRA meet coming up on Sunday, July 12th. We have tickets for that right here in my hands. We also have 2 pairs of tickets tonight to someone in our audience at Paulies Pub and Eatery to go to the Harbortown Showdown this coming Friday night at Manitowoc Speedway. We have the man in charge of that who will be behind the wheel, Scotty Thiel. He's promoting it, Sixport Promotions, promoting the Harbortown Showdown. He's here tonight to preview it with us. He'll be our first guest on the program, and we'll also find out about his recent victory at Manitowoc. Coincidentally, he went there. Somebody else's ride and won this past weekend. We got the world of short track racing results covered with you, for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report with Dean Strom on the way. Also, George Houle is here. He races in the Mid-American Sprint Series presented by Bridgestone, as well as races weekly, or at least when they run their weekly shows on the weekends at Road America Kart Club. So we'll talk to George about what he's up to. Looking forward to get some exposure for the kart racing that so many racers have started their careers in. It's active and going 2 days a week, Tuesday nights and Sundays out at the Road America Motorplex. So we'll talk to him about that and where he travels in the Mid-American Sprint Series. 5 races, 5 different tracks throughout the Midwest. The Drag Race Report will include Dave Hohensee, Scott Paddock from Route 66, and John DiPiazza. And, of course, I'll have the NASCAR report for you from our friends at Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, sponsoring Junior Motorsports and Regan Smith this season. To further entice you, we have a DeWalt drill. Can you hear that? It's already charged up, ready to go. We're giving this away thanks to one of John's sponsors, Napa of Greenfield. So we've got that to give away, hats, shirts, Anderson syrup after the show. So what more reason do you need to come down and enjoy the air conditioning and the great specials we have here at Paulies? We got a 90-minute radio show. Giveaways after, lots of bench racing throughout the evening as well. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee in the Big 920 and on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Add beauty and value to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team of professionals at Central Services is the personal choice of over 30 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin with landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts of Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consult for home or business regarding your landscaping or lawn care needs. Find out why Central Services can provide you with a visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005 or toll free at 1-800-236-LAWN. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Is your business compliant with federal and state regulations? Are you sure? Business materials containing data about your employees or customers could potentially be legal liabilities. Eliminate the risk. Get compliant and sleep better. Call Piranha Paper Shredding. Piranha Paper Shredding gives your business safe, secure, complete, and green destruction of your company's sensitive information. Piranha Paper Shredding is your information destruction expert. Safe, secure, and complete information destruction is your business's best defense. Call 800-808-6577 or visit piranhapapershredding.com.
Mark it down now. Friday night, July 3rd. For the first time in over 12 years, the bumper-to-bumper IRA 410 Outlaw Sprint Car Series invades the Manitowoc Speedway in Manitowoc, Wisconsin for the first annual Harbortown Showdown hosted by Sixport Promotions. Kick off your Independence Day weekend on Friday night, July 3rd by witnessing history being made as these 900-horsepower wing sprint cars storm around the Manitowoc Speedway. Other divisions on hand will include Grand Nationals, IMCA-style Sport Mods, and INEX Legends. Make sure you are at the first ever Harbortown Showdown at Manitowoc Speedway on July 3rd. Grandstand gates open at 3 p.m. with a pre-race kickoff party in including a driver autograph session, race car displays, kids activities, and drink specials. IRA qualifies at 6:30 with racing to follow. Mark it down now, Friday night, July 3rd. This will be edge of your seat entertainment in full throttle. Get more info on the first ever Harbor Town Showdown at 64 Promotions on Facebook or visit ManitowocSpeedway.com.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street are experts in automotive repair. From minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. For 23 years, Oak Creek Automotive has Milwaukee's South Side covered when it comes to know-how and automotive repair. Call Oak Creek Automotive at 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Fridays, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Head to Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel for all your auto repair needs.
We're back on the Racing Roundup Show, live here in Milwaukee in the Big 920. We're in West Allis, live at Paulies Pub and Eatery. You're welcome to join us all throughout Dane County on the Big 1070 in Madison, all the way down to the state line, and, of course, all the way north to who knows where, depending on the cloud cover. That's how AM signals work. But glad to have you covered in the southeastern part of Wisconsin as well on the Big 920 and on the World Wide Web at racingroundup.net. This portion of the Racing Roundup Show is brought to you by Borchardt Speed Automotive, Wisconsin's largest speed shop at 6101 South 27th Street in Greenfield. Borchardt's car show, the Father's Day car show, happened already on Sunday, June 21st, but they've got a lot more for you. They have a street car, a race car. It can be dyno tested with Borchardt's in-house dyno. You can drive your car right into the dyno bay, watch how much horsepower your car gets at the rear wheels. Maximize your performance at Borchardt Speed Automotive, Wisconsin's largest speed shop. We've got a gentleman who visited Victory Lane at a track that he is more than familiar with because he is involved with the promotion of the Harbor Town Showdown this coming Friday night at Manitowoc Speedway. Let's welcome into the program. Welcome back to driver number 64 in the bumper-to-bumper IRA Sprint Series and whatever else he feels like running, because he does a lot of that. Let's welcome in Scotty Thiel to the Racing Roundup Show. Hey, Scotty, how are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you drive your own sprint car.
Correct.
You've also traveled all different places outside the IRA schedule, including this past Saturday night where you bagged a win at Manitowoc. How'd things go down, and whose car were you in?
Well, I was helping out my buddy Drew Ludwig beginning of the year. They bought a sprint car, and we were helping him get going. I used to race snowmobiles with them back in the day, and so just getting his feet wet with everything. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to race the car at Manitowoc?" And I said, "Yeah, it'd be a perfect opportunity to get a little seat time back there." And we went out there and we won. I wasn't really, I guess, expecting that, but everything worked out well, and the car was awesome, and I kind of felt bad because he's like, "Well, you made it look easy." I'm like, "Well, it was."
Good car, fast track, go for it, yeah.
Right. So it all worked out pretty well, and we're excited to put a show on there.
Well within the top 10 in points of the bumper-to-bumper Outlaws IRA Outlaw Sprint Series. So I'm thinking, okay, you've got a lot going on already. But then you said, wait a minute. Last year, I want to try this. This year, you're trying it again as a promoter of a race. It's this coming Friday. The first time the IRA 410 900 horsepower Thunder is coming to Manitowoc Speedway in over a decade. How did this all come together for you as the promoter? 6-4 Promotions putting this race on.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that last year kind of started out as a joke, honestly. I mean, we were just kind of talking about it, saying, hey, we want to have a race. And then a buddy of mine and we kind of turned it into reality and had that race up at Luxembourg. And, it went over pretty well. It was the first time IRA's been there in, like 10, 12 years. Okay. So we kind of got put into a niche that way where, we were limited to the schedule as far as, pretty much every Saturday's taken up. So we had to kind of go to Fridays and go to new racetracks. So it kind of worked out to our advantage a little bit. Yeah, I mean, there's a gamble in it, but, bringing the IRA back to new racetracks is, like I said, kind of our niche, and it works out. So Manitowoc is a track that I've personally loved since I started racing there. The racetrack is awesome. I don't know what else to say about it. The racetrack's is fun. And I said, hey, let's try to bring the IRA back there, and, we're racing it as well. So I have pretty good staff members on board to take care of it while I go and have the fun of racing.
Will there be enough guys left after you need a crew to go racing? Because I'm sure your buddies help you on the car, and I was like, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. How about we get this guy to do that?
Right, yeah, it kind of worked out like that. My brother-in-law took care of the pit booth last year. Well, then all of a sudden, beginning of the season, he started helping me on the car.
All right.
And so I'm like, well, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
But just kept getting more and more friends involved, and, they're helping us out. So we should have everything taken care of, hopefully.
I'm sure it'll be just great. And again, it's this Friday, July 3rd. So if you have a weekend plan or you're heading up north, whatever, guess what? If you're head due east, if you're coming to Sheboygan to spend the weekend, if you're in Madison, this is the place to be Friday night. What time do things get going, and who's all racing on Friday night at Manitowoc?
Yeah, so Manitowoc Speedway, it's at the Expo County Fairgrounds up there.
Right on the exit, right there, boom, on 43.
Right off 43 and 151. So it's going to get kicked off. The grandstand gates open at 3. We have a pre-race party that, we're going to have race car displays, autograph sessions, kid activities, and they have a happy hour drink special for a little while. And we're going to get hopefully qualifying by 6:30 and then racing to follow that. So obviously we have the bumper-to-bumper IRA sprint cars coming, along with Grand Nationals, IMCA style sport mods, and the Legend cars.
All right.
And we're paying pretty good money for those support classes. Legends race for $350. Grand Nationals are $500 to win, and then we got some bonus money in for the sport mods, and it's gonna be $750 to win for those guys.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
It's a pretty good payday for everybody involved, and hopefully we get the good fan count and stop everybody coming up on the highway to go camping and watch some pretty good racing.
You know more than anyone, the competition level is really high when it comes to the IRA sprint cars, and when it comes to outlaw sprint cars, any advantage you have is good. You won last week. You like racing at Manitowoc, but I heard Jeremy Schultz last week on this show say, I'm waiting. I can't wait for Manitowoc. He's won a track championship there in the 360s.
Yep.
He said, me and that 35. He kept saying Ben Schmidt's number. He wouldn't say Ben's name outright.
Sure.
They've had a lot of battles there.
They have a pretty good rivalry happen there, and there's a lot of new talent in the IRA that has come from the 360 group, and
including yourself, I'd say.
Yeah, myself, Ben Schmidt, Jeremy Schultz, Kyle Martin. We've all came from the 360 group there. We ran there pretty much every Friday from 06-ish. I started in 08, and it's a racetrack that means a lot to everybody. It's just it's a fun place to go and race at, and I think it's going to be a pretty good battle when we bring the 410 boys there.
It's on the fairgrounds, got that nice covered grandstand. It really takes home, and I mean, you're really off on the freeway. You cannot miss it. It's right there on the fairgrounds. Well, one thing I have to add to this is there may be some 360 guys, I'm guessing. They go, you know what? Yeah, I want to put my 410 together, or I'm going to race my 360. They can do that this Friday, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, with the weather, it's gonna be warm all week, and if the right track conditions, if it gets dry and slick, 360 guys will have obviously they're gonna be a little bit under disadvantage, but there's a good shot that they can still make the feature, and we did that plenty of times back in the day when we didn't have a 410. We went and just tagged the back of the field, and it's pretty good payday even at that.
I was just going to remind you that you used to do that quite often, if I remember right.
We took our 360 a lot. I mean, we went out of state when we knew we were going to be underdogs, but we just had to be really smooth and get up on the wheel and get after it, and we did pretty good. We won a couple races where we were 150 horsepower under, but we still we had hooked up the race car and had the right track conditions, and anybody can win.
For the fans coming this Friday, the Harbortown Showdown is at Manitowoc Speedway. When it comes to racing those different engine sizes, when fans are in the stands, they may see a second difference on the stopwatch. But how can they compete on the same track, knowing that there's that much horsepower difference between the two cars and compete at the same time? And obviously, some guys can be real successful, like yourself.
Sure. I mean, it's just you got to play your cards right, and like I said before, if the racetrack gets slick, then it's pretty much an even playing field with the guys with the 410s and have big horsepower. They got to watch themselves so they're not sitting there spinning their tires. And when the lower horsepower cars can just, they're already hooked up because they don't have enough power to spin the tires.
Ah, okay.
So for them, and especially if the track gets really wide and the cushion's up, against the wall, we're making the racetrack the next size up. I think they call it a third mile, but, we're probably close to half mile around the wall. And the guys that have 360s can go around the bottom, and they're making the racetrack shorter, so if they can make the car hook up and get off the corner, they can be close.
Yep.
And that's kind of what our deal was when we went and traveled all the time with our 360s. We just made the racetrack shorter when we could, and momentum deal if we needed to. And even last year we won the 410 race at Beaver Dam with our ASCS 360. We were 100 to 150 horsepower less there, but it was this momentum deal, and it was just kept it right around the wall and never killed the momentum at all. And we checked away from the guys.
Certainly one of the young guns on the IRA series is Scotty Thiel sitting with us here now. And when it comes to your season, let's talk about that a bit. You started somewhere down south, and I think I remember on Facebook.
Yep.
You started way before the season got going here in the Midwest.
Yeah, we went down to Florida for the Winter Nationals down there at East Bay Raceway Park, and we missed the show by one spot, and we just kind of had a bad luck deal the first night. It's a 3-race deal, and the first night we transferred into the A main, but we went across the scales, and our nose wing was pushed ahead literally 1/2 of an inch.
Oh boy!
And they disqualified us, and it was just one of those deals. Is just we couldn't argue it. We weren't one of the the regulars of the series, and so we were behind the 8 ball the whole night. The whole night then, and the whole weekend after that. It's all based on points. So, but we got a lot of seat time down there. We came back and started the IRA series at LaSalle. We ran the NSL's tour at Burlington and had a little bit of bad luck there. We were fighting fuel injection issues. That the throttle linkage wasn't really working out too well. But, we got that figured out for LaSalle. And then LaSalle, we had a little bit of brake problems and hot laps, and that put us behind the whole night. And we were chasing, and we had a lot of dumb luck so far this year. We went to Beaver Dam the second night for the IRA, running really good, and we broke a rocker at the end of the heat race. So we couldn't run the feature. And then we went to Wilmot. We had a really good run going, and I made a mistake and put it in the wall. And then we got T-boned, and we wrecked a car, wrecked a motor, and then we put a new car together, and we've been kind of battling that. And after this past weekend, we found we had a bad right rear shock, and it's just.
So after adjusting everything to figure it out, that was the one spot.
Yep, that was the last thing I ever thought of changing. We were making every change but that, but we still had a good run with the Outlaws at Beaver Dam last week. We ended up 14th.
Good.
There's 12 Outlaws, and we ended up 14th.
Yeah.
We were the best IRA guy that ended up there, but I think the car could have been a little bit better, obviously, with that shock. And we were in contention. Swindell, he finished 10th, and I know I passed him at one point in time. It just I screwed up on a restart, and we had a tire kind of blister up on us. But hopefully the second half of the season here goes a little bit better. We get things figured out. We got fresh motors now. And, I'd like to win my own event. I don't want to be, that guy that wins his own event. But, if we can get a win there and hopefully keep momentum going, that'd be awesome.
That doesn't stop anybody. I think the pressure for you to perform because, this young driver wants to promote this race. Will he have time, preparation, success at the track? Last week it probably worked out better. It wasn't your stuff, I'm guessing, at Manitowoc.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I said, I didn't expect to go up there and win. I knew we would be competitive, but, it's not brand new stuff that my buddy has. They're just getting started, and I just, we had it set up perfect, and I was just so comfortable in the car, and we got lucky starting in the front row. But honestly, I think if we started 10th, we probably could have won it. I felt that confident in the car, and just we had a ton of fun. Just when you're not in your own stuff, you don't have a lot of pressure. You're just trying to perform and make the car owner happy. And I mean, they were incredibly happy about everything, and just ecstatic that we took their car and went and won. So.
I talked to Tony, speaking of this coming Friday night, back to Manitowoc Speedway for the Harbortown Showdown. I had a chance to talk to Tony Stewart about when he got on the grader, and he actually was one of the track guys at the Chili Bowl, working the track, reworking the track. He said, I've got a notebook about 8 or 9 pages. When the track did this, when the track did that. So when it comes to track prep this Friday, do you anticipate having input on that, or just let the Manitowoc guys do their deal and you were a racer that night?
Yeah, I mean, I've already been putting my input into it during the week here. I'll be up there a couple nights just kind of seeing what they're doing and, throwing out suggestions if I need to. But Steve Sinclair with the IRA, the president there, he has really good input on what we need to do to keep it going throughout the night. But, I definitely will be there. If I feel we need to make some changes, we're going to do it. So it's a 6-4 promotions event, and I got to do whatever I have to take to make it into a really good show and be good for the fans. And, if it does get dry, we got to keep on it. So, it's not just a dust bowl. And that's my biggest fear with anything. I just don't want to disappoint the fans. I want to give them good racing, and not only for the fans, but the drivers as well, especially with the extra money we're putting up for them.
A lot of good racing this coming Friday night. Give us the time again, and maybe on social media where people can follow along and perhaps find out more about what's going on, and maybe if there's a surprise visit, because you never know. IRA guys have visitors from all different points of the world coming in.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If rain out down in South Dakota there, we might get some NSL guys coming over. You never know.
Right.
But, we'll be kicking things off at 3 o'clock, with our pre-race party. IRA qualifying will be at 6:30 with racing to follow, hopefully by 7 o'clock. We have 4 divisions happening again, the IRA Sprint Cars, Grand Nationals, Sport Mods, and Legends. And, we got to thank Professional Plating for coming on board. They're a presenting sponsor of the Harbortown Showdown at Manitowoc. And I just got to thank all of my staff members that put their work into it. My guys that, they're going to be taking care of the car all night as I'm running around with my head cut off. But, that's part of it. And hopefully we have a pretty good success. And, come on out and experience, like I've been advertising, history being made. It's first time that the IRA's been there in over 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's a new track configuration, too. Last time that they were there, it was a half mile, and I think Kim Mock won it with the last lap pass. So it should be pretty exciting and hopefully make some records in the book.
We look forward to it this coming Friday night, the Harbortown Showdown at Manitowoc Speedway. How about I stand for Scotty Steele? We wish you well as a promoter and as a racer. Bag that trophy, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scotty. And now we've got a couple of pair of tickets to give away to someone in our audience tonight after the show. So come on down and join us for that. We're at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee in the Big 920 out of Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Good Day Construction and Property Maintenance is your local source for residential and commercial property upkeep, maintenance, repair, and restoration. Whether it's to keep your property looking good or you need to gut and rebuild from top to bottom, Good Day Construction staff of over 20 qualified tradespeople have you covered. For a free no-obligation quote, contact them at 262-662-2201 or through their website at gooddayconstruction.com.
Trademark Real Estate Company, the full-service real estate brokerage catering to racers and race fans alike. They offer buyers with free property searches and acquisitions when you're looking to buy a home, land, or investment property, and provide full-service listing services to sell your property. If you're looking to buy or sell, contact Dan Church Jr. at 262-751-5311 or check out their services on their website at trademarkrealestatecompany.com.
GDC Heating, Cooling, and Drain Cleaning is the home of the $89 service call. That includes the first hour of troubleshooting, diagnosis, and repair. All makes, all models. Heating, air conditioning, and plumbing drains repaired right the first time at a reasonable price. Mention you heard this on the Racing Roundup Show for a 10% race fan discount. Call 262-662-2201 or go online to gdchvacservices.com.
The action is explosive. Here's Thursday, July 2nd at LaSalle Speedway as the UMP Late Model Summer Nationals invade the quarter-mile high bank action track. And at dusk, you won't want to miss this mega fireworks display. That's this Thursday, July 2nd at LaSalle Speedway. Gates open at 3. Racing starts at 7. Bring the kids. They're always free. It's the UMP Late Model Summer Nationals and a huge fireworks display at LaSalle Speedway Thursday.
At LaSalle Speedway.
Friends on Forest Home is the new name for BB Rubbles at 56th and Forest Home, and the tradition of the trophy is back. When there's a caution flag during Sunday NASCAR races, if your number's drawn, you get the trophy and drink for free until the next caution flag. New owners Jeff and Patty are carrying on the NASCAR tradition in a remodeled, fun atmosphere with $2 tappers and beer bucket specials during the races. Friends on Forest Home at 56th and Forest Home wants to sponsor your league team. See Jeff for details. Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar is now called Friends on Forest Home.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Sponsored in part by Complete Heat Treating. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Hey, we're back, everybody. Chatting away with my friend Dean Strom here during the commercial break. I want to let you know that all things considered, we got a lot of racing in the area, and we got the short track report on the way. We do want to tell you this portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Miller's Sales and Service. They can get you on the water. Yep, it's that time of year. Get a new Alumacraft fishing or a Manitou pontoon boat powered by an Evinrude E-Tech motor. You can call them at 920-994-4358. Miller's also has port-a-dock lifts and docks, so don't be wishing you were fishing. Get to Miller's Sales and Service. Ask for Jerry, Brad, or Warren. That number again, 920-994-4358. Miller's Sales and Service. All their inventories online at millerssales.com. Speaking of fishing, when Dean Strom needed a fishing boat, guess what he did?
I went to Miller's Sales and Service.
Dean, welcome back to the program. Good to see you here.
Jimmy, good to be here. I have never been this close. I heard you give it a plug right in the beginning of the show. This trophy.
Oh yeah.
I have never been this close to a drag racing trophy
John
like that.
DiPiazza won a huge money bracket race in Memphis, pocketed $25,000, and I think the trophy weighs 20, maybe 30 pounds.
It is a cool trophy.
Yeah. It's got the purple base, faded up to the blue, on the camshaft. The camshaft is the base of the trophy itself. It's the tree, but the tree lights are actually valves that are polished on the end, and the top has got lifters for the top lights. If you red light, it's really
you know, the way they refresh in those things, this has probably had how many, like a couple of runs on it?
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
Race used camshaft trophy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Say, Jim, it's time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. To select the right business and residential security system for your needs, including alarm systems, closed circuit, and card access, it's a lock. Contact a great Wisconsin Short Track supporter at 262-790-9400 or go online, bonafidesafe.com. We will start with the ARCA Midwest Tour. They return to Rockford Speedway for the All-Star 100, an event that dates back, Jim, to 1978, and some big names have raced in that event over the years.
Yeah.
Adding his name to the record books here in 2015 was defending Midwest Series champion Ty Majeski. Ty muscled inside of Trent Snyder just past the halfway point, pulled away to a lead. The event's only caution then flew with 7 circuits remaining. Schneider and Majeski kind of wrestled for the top spot over those final 7 laps, made contact on a couple of occasions. Majeski was able to hang on for the win. Schneider, the 2008 event winner, settled for second, with Rockford racer Austin Nason, Chris Weinkoff, Ricky Baker rounding out the top 5. The win was Ty Majeski's second of the season on the tour, allowed him to stretch his championship point advantage to 57 markers over Austin Nason. Midwest Tour is now off until July 17th when they travel to Grundy County Speedway. Star Spangled 76 for the NASCAR late models was also on tap at Rockford. Fast qualifier Michael Bilderback elected to start from the rear of the field, taking a challenge that offered an extra 800 bones if he could win. He did just that. Drove through the field. He was aided by a couple of well-timed cautions along the way, led the final 27 laps. After the prize money and bonuses, took home nearly $2,000. Jake Guiley finished second, with John Reynolds Jr. third.
That's hard to do at Rockford Speedway.
What's that?
That's hard to do at Rockford.
It is. It was a good field. It was an 18-car field, so to start at the back and go to the front was definitely a challenge. That's why it paid the extra big bucks. Austin Nason took the lead from Bobby Wilberg on lap 26, led the rest of the way to pick up the victory in the Big 8 late model 48-lap main event Friday night at Madison International Speedway. Wilberg, the evening's fast qualifier, finished in the runner-up spot. Michael Bilderback third. Dave Trudy of New Lisbon took the lead on lap 14, never looked back, won the 25-lap feature Great Northern Sportsman Series. Hey, the Egan Racing Team, friends of the show.
Bonafide Security Solutions is what they do and who they're sponsored by.
Great racing weekend for them this past weekend. Mike won the late model feature at Golden Sands Speedway on Friday night. And then on Sunday night at Slinger Super Speedway, his son Nick set fast time, won the area sportsman headliner. So it's a good weekend for them guys.
That's called a boom. 3rd win of the year for Nick.
Yep, good deal. In other Slinger action, the box score will read that Dale Prunty led all but the first lap of the 75-lap Super Late Model feature on Sunday night to capture his first feature victory of the season. But what the box score will not show is that he held off the 2 most successful drivers at the track this season in pretty much convincing fashion. Steve Apel, Dennis Prunty, they ran second and third. Dale held them off. Apel, the Super Late Model point leader, nipped Dennis Prunty by inches to take the runner-up spot at the Checkers. Mike Held took the lead 2 to go and drove to victory in the 40-lap late model main event. A late race caution cost Steven Schultz a big lead. He was forced to settle for second over Brian Holtz. Joe Bongiorno, the rookie late model driver who we have had on the show here in 2015, had by far his best showing of the season. He ran inside the top 5 all evening, came home with a solid 4th place run in the late model feature at Slinger.
Slinger Superspeedway has had this guy named Ty Majeski show up last week and finish 2nd.
Yep.
Any other guys grooving themselves? Because I know Dennis Prunty also raced 2 different cars. One that he'll prepare for Ross Kenseth, who we'll talk to next week on this Racing Roundup program.
Natalie Decker was there the same week that Ty was there. And this past week, Grundy County, or I should say Ileana track champion Paul Schaefer Jr.
Yeah.
He was there making his first appearance. Put it in the show and then kind of got tangled up. Johnny DeAngelis Jr. lost an engine, laid some oil down, and there were a lot of guys that got tangled up, and it really were just innocent victims, and Schaefer was one of those. But, yep, they continue to just kind of show up, sneak in, try to get a lay of the land. Ty Majeski told me that this place, Slinger, is different than any racetrack he's ever been to, and the setup has to be completely different. So these guys are figuring it out.
I was actually at Slinger last year on the Monday of the Slinger Nationals, and he was there testing. A lot of guys were there shaking things down, and he was very quick. So he and Toby put their heads together now a year later, and all that kids winning it lately. Should be fun to watch with the stars coming to the Slinger Nationals in 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago when he was there, he qualified 19th.
Yeah.
And he didn't look so smart or impressive or good.
Yeah.
And then they dropped the green flag for the feature, and get out of the way. He was going to the front. So he did an excellent job, and it should be a great show in a couple weeks at the Nationals. Edgerton's Casey Johnson became the first late model pilot to capture a 2nd feature win in 2015 at Jefferson Speedway. After contact between the leaders late in the event, Johnson went from 3rd to 1st, led the rest of the way to claim the victory in the 50-lap main event. Jesse Oudenhoven passed a slowy Nate Van Weichen in the closing laps of the super late model headliner to become the 5th different winner to reach victory lane in the top class Thursday night at Wisconsin International Raceway. Going to the dirt, it was a big week for dirt racing in the state of Wisconsin. The World of Outlaws were at Beaver Dam Raceway.
Yeah, they were.
Donnie Schatz started 10th, charged his way to the front, picked up the win Saturday night at Beaver Dam Raceway. Schatz moved around leader Darren Pittman late in the going, went on to claim his 17th A-main win of the 2015 campaign. Pittman ran 2nd. Fast qualifier Joey Saldana rounded out the top 3. It was the first win for Donnie Schatz at Beaver Dam Raceway since 2002. Shane Stewart, Kerry Madsen, Pittman, and Schatz all took turns leading in the 40-lap A-main. And then earlier in the week, there was a $10,000 to win modified show at Francis Crick 141 Speedway, the Clash at the Creek. Mike Mullen took home the $10,000 check there. Sean Kilgore finished 2nd. Russ Reinwald was 3rd. Wisconsin drivers took the top 3 rungs on the podium of that event. We heard from Scotty Thiel just a few moments ago. He led green to checker.
Boom.
Manitowoc
I like
Speedway.
saying boom lately. Yeah. I'm going to keep doing it, too.
Wayne Majeski, Kurt Davis rounded out the top 3. 7th starting Justin Ritchie took the win in the 40-lap late model headliner over Rick Scheffler and Tim Bueller. Saturday night, the Plymouth Dirt Track, Shane Weniger picked up his first 360 sprint feature of the year. Donnie Gaden 2nd, followed by Jason Johnson. Russ Scheffler scored the late model feature win over Justin Schmidt and Tim Bueller. And it's a good time to be Charlie Cincinnati. We have had Charlie on the show.
Yeah.
He drives his race car here.
From Towing, his main sponsor and provider of the fuel that doesn't put in the hauler. He puts it in the race car and drives his car here.
He has been on a roll lately. The past week and a half, Charlie has won the Grand National feature at 141 Speedway, and he swept the weekend. This past weekend, won Friday night at Manitowoc and Saturday at Plymouth.
Wow, nice.
One more tidbit for you when we go to short track racing.
Love tidbits.
Last Tuesday, a week ago, Tuesday, the Summer Shootout Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's a big deal.
I know a couple guys in the audience that are here.
Legends cars,
tonight.
Bandoleros, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
A young band by the name of Jake Tretow was competing in the semi-pro division of the Legends cars.
Yeah.
Finished 16th, had a little bit of a rough going, but that name sounded familiar.
He's here tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a 2-week tour, a Midwestern tour. His brother Nathan, my nephews, my brother John's boys are here. So.
Is it an orange number 9 car?
Of course.
Looks a lot like
Grandpa
an
Dennis
orange number
Lemon
9.
and Tim Lemon. Yeah, it's Uncle Tim's.
And then, last Tuesday, another young man by the name of Carson Quapple finished 2nd in the Bandit feature.
Yeah.
That is Travis's oldest son.
Yeah, yeah.
So there you go.
Carson actually looked at the Tretow Racing operation. Travis got a hold of me, thanks to you. He said, hey, they didn't buy it, though. They just wanted to buy certain things. They were looking for something specific, I guess.
Aha.
According to what Travis told me.
State Tonight Short Track Report brought to you by Bonafide Security Solutions. Raise your security IQ. Learn more about the wide variety of security products, including safes and gun safes, by visiting bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value.
Hey, it's time for the NASCAR report, brought to you by Anderson Pure Maple Syrup. Thank you, Dean. It's a proud Wisconsin family business and NASCAR race team sponsor of Junior Motorsports and driver Regan Smith. It's made right here in Wisconsin and available at your favorite store. Anderson's Maple Syrup, pure quality for over 85 years. It would be a fair statement to say the biggest challenge facing Kyle Busch on Sunday as a driver was getting to a road course with those broken lower limbs and how they healed. And he admitted a pain level of 7 out of 10 over the weekend and said he iced his legs and feet both Friday and Saturday after racing on the track for qualifying and practice at Sonoma. Comes Sunday with a different tire strategy than a two-stop strategy of race leader Jimmy Johnson. Kyle Busch beat his brother Kurt Busch to the finish line by 0.532 seconds to win for the first time since returning from an 11-race absence. Casey Mears, axle, and entire left rear wheel assembly left his car. Helpless on lap 99 to force the deciding moment of the race. Leader Jimmy Johnson stayed out. The rest of them came storming down pit road for tires, and it paid off for them. The race restarted on lap 104 of 110. Kyle Busch restarted 7th. 2 laps later, Kyle muscled Jimmy out of the way and took the lead on the way to his second victory on the 1.99-mile road course and the 30th of his career. Following Kyle past Jimmy were Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, reigning series champ Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano. Now, to make the chase, a driver is eligible if they finish top 30 in points and have a victory. Obviously, race wins mean everything, but you've got to be top 30 in points. Right now, Kyle is 37th in points, 136 points behind Cole Witt in the cutoff. 10 races between now and the end of the regular season. 13.6, the average finish he must make. But keep in mind, there's a lot of drivers that are around 30th, give or take. That means his average finish probably has to be a whole lot better than 13.6 in those final 10 races to get into the top 30 in points. Colwood had a great finish, 22nd at Sonoma. I'd say a great finish for that team. Kyle Busch, just 2 races ago, if you remember, finished 43rd last at Michigan. In the race on Sunday, we mentioned the top 6 because they all scooted by Jimmy Johnson. No, I didn't say that. I did. Jimmy, or Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, reigning series champ Kevin Harvick, Joe Logano. I got that in my notes. 7th, Dale Earnhardt Jr., whose crew chief said, I think we have a chance to win on the road course. Good job by those guys with confidence. 8th, the Casey Kane. 9th, Ryan Newman. 10th, Sam Hornish Jr., one of his better runs with the RPM number 9 machine. Jamie McMurray, solid in the top 10 in points. Probably one of the first point guys if there aren't 16 winners by the time we get to Richmond. He finished 11th. 12th, Tony Stewart. Yes, Stewart up a second at one point in the race, finished 12th. Paul Menard of Eau Claire finished 13th, and the weekend started out strong for Cambridge, Wisconsin's Matt Kenseth. Qualified 3rd at Sonoma. I thought somebody typoed. I thought it was 33rd. That's, what you'd expect. Matt's not a big road course guy. He loves road courses, I think, as much as he likes Martinsville. But anyway, qualified 3rd, but a flat left rear tire early. Changed the day dramatically for his JGR team. He finished 21st on the lead lap. I'll be in Daytona this weekend covering the action on Sprint Vision and the at-track screens on the PA. This is the first weekend for NBC and NBC Sports Network, so if you're not there, you have to tune to those channels throughout the end of the season. From here forward, no more Fox or Fox Sports 1 or 2. I've been asked everything NASCAR will be on NBC. The answer is no. The NASCAR Truck Series will remain on Fox Sports. Also, the ARCA Racing Series will be on Fox Sports, including July 17th at Iowa Speedway, where I'll be on pit road for the Iowa Speedway Friday night race before the IndyCars race there Saturday night on NBC. Anyway, one last note, the Firecracker 250 Xfinity race is this Saturday night, July 4th. The Sprint Cup race at Daytona is on Sunday evening with a 6:45 p.m. start, so keep that in mind. Sunday night racing at Daytona for the Cup Series. ARCA Series, I was fortunate to be part of the live TV booth coverage of the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards race at the historic Winchester Speedway just 2 days ago. The race will re-air several times on CBS Sports Network. I suggest you check your listings because it's a race you'll want to watch. 6 laps from the finish, 19-year-old Austin Wayne Self. He was in the lead pack all throughout the day. He put on a nudge-and-go maneuver on fellow teenager Brandon Jones, who did the very same thing a year ago to win. That worked for Self on Sunday to make the winning pass to earn the Hers Chase the Taste 200 trophy in the ARCA Racing Series event at Winchester. Jones, Kenny Schrader, and point leader Grant Enfinger all held a lead at one point on the track, dubbed the world's fastest half mile. When it came down to go time, it was Jones who held the point. Then the field was bunched up one last time on a restart with just 8 laps remaining when Jones chose the outside groove. Self had been making hay on the bottom. I thought, okay, this is not going to last long, but Jones had a great restart, pulled him by 2 car lengths. Well, a lap and a half later, wouldn't you know, Self pulled even with him, down the backstretch into 3. They bumped. Self emerged with the lead, and Jones actually was backpedaling at the time. He actually lost second at the stripe to Grant Enfinger. It was a role reversal for Jones, as we mentioned, who put a similar move on driver Mason Mitchell, who owns Self's car. Nice little twist there. Who reminded his young driver to make sure he gets clean, or if he doesn't go clean, reminded him of last year's finish during those final laps of caution. Back to Sunday. Jones' handling went away and slightly, and then he resigned the race. Really ran Enfinger for that second spot. Lost it in the very last moments of the race. Kyle Weatherman, the 17-year-old driving in a Paul Andrews prepared Ford, was fourth. But now Truck Series regular Justin Boston in a one-off start, finishing fifth. Schrader had a strong run. He had everything figured out. He took the lead at the right time. They came into pit. They all took 4 tires. He held the lead, and 62 to go, and everybody came down pit road under caution. But from there, Schrader's handling went away, and he eventually brushed the turn 2 wall, which precipitated a green flag stop for him. Schrader ended up with a 13th place run. The ARCA Racing Series takes 2 weeks off before joining up with the IndyCars at Iowa Speedway, as I mentioned, for the Friday night, July 17th race on Fox Sports 1. I'll be on pit road for that one. Hey, tonight's NASCAR report was sponsored by Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, a third-generation Wisconsin business and NASCAR team sponsor. Everything tastes better with Anderson's Maple Syrup. Try it in your coffee or tea, or even when grilling your favorite foods. Follow Anderson's race team all year long at Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing.com. On the way, we've got a young man who races in the Road America Kart Club. He's also leading the Yamaha Masters standings in the Mid-American Sprint Series, presented by Bridgestone. Talking to George Houle next. Also on the way, Scott Paddock, the president of Route 66 Raceway. The money man, John DiPiazza, has his trophy and the big check he already put in the bank. But we'll talk to him about his big win at Memphis with our drag race reporter, Dave Hohensee. That and more surprises on the way. If we have time, hope we do, to have you join us as well. We've got great ticket giveaways after the program, and certainly a lot of fun yet to come here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee on the Big 920, and on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Mark it down now. Friday night, July 3rd. For the first time in over 12 years, the bumper-to-bumper IRA 410 Outlaw Sprint Car Series invades the Manitowoc Speedway in Manitowoc, Wisconsin for the first annual Harbor Town Showdown hosted by 6-4 Promotions. Kick off your Independence Day weekend on Friday night, July 3rd by witnessing history being made as these 900-horsepower winged sprint cars storm around the Manitowoc Speedway. Other divisions on hand will include Grand Nationals, IMCA-style sport mods, and INX Legends. Make sure you are at the first ever Harbor Town Showdown at Manitowoc Speedway on July 3rd. Grandstand gates open at 3 p.m. with a pre-race kickoff party, including a driver autograph session, race car displays, kids activities, and drink specials. IRA qualifies at 6:30 with racing to follow. Mark it down now, Friday night, July 3rd. This will be edge-of-your-seat entertainment in full throttle. Get more info on the first ever Harbor Town Showdown at 6-4 Promotions on Facebook or visit ManitowocSpeedway.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, racing season is in high gear this summer. The Madison International Speedway in Oregon offers the most exciting racing in the home of the fastest half-mile track in Wisconsin. Enjoy racing Friday nights. Advanced tickets are available. Get them for the next race Friday, July 10th, featuring the Super Late Model Triple Crown Challenge Round 2. Sportsmen and Bandits, plus 6 shooters. Madison International Speedway offers entertainment for all ages. Check for family discounts, kids' nights, and buck nights. Every Friday has something different to offer. Get to the track and witness the excitement for yourself. Visit MISRacing.com and get all the information on upcoming events. Don't miss out on the summer fun at Madison International Speedway. If you're a racing fan or if you're an adventure seeker looking for racing action, Madison International Speedway is the place to be on Friday nights. Between Oregon and Stoughton off Highway 138. Don't miss out on the action.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Delansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Allis.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Sponsored in part by Complete Heat Treating. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
to the Racing Roundup Show. Glad to have you with us at Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield, right across the street from the Milwaukee Mile. A lot of things going on this month, including Milwaukee Indy Fest. We'll talk to the GM of Milwaukee Indy Fest next week, Kevin Healy. He'll be joining us on the program. Next week also we'll preview the Slinger Nationals with Johnny Sauter calling in, Ross Kenseth calling in. That, of course, is a couple weeks away. And I also want to tell you that we've got Plymouth Sprint Car ace Donnie Gaydon joining us here at the show. And looking forward to seeing you joining us, as well as Dean is going to deliver the Bonafide Security Solutions short track report, as he always does. It'll be next Tuesday on the Racing. Or are you not, Dean? Are you in here next week or not? Next week or not? I'm going to take that off my calendar. I try to keep track of all good things like that. Dean's giving me the, what are you talking about, Willis? Okay, gotcha. Hey, we got time to talk to a gentleman who's, he actually reached out via our website. So if you want to join us and be a guest on the show, do what George did. Just pop a note to us through our racingroundup.net website. We've got a contact us link on there. And certainly, George, you've got the credentials and certainly the need and the want, the desire to go racing. Thanks for joining us here on the program. What I stand for George Houle, a member of the Road America Kart Club, and leading his division, the Yamaha Masters division of the Mid-American Sprint Series. George, thanks for coming on. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me out.
The neat thing about this show is we cover all things motorsports, and you said in your request to be on the program, you're like, hey, you know what? Karting's been a big deal for a long time and a lot of people. My nephews are here. They started karting. My brother's raced karts locally and nationally for years. It's a great, great fun activity for families. What got you involved in kart racing, George?
Well, what got me into it was mainly my wife, now my wife. We started dating, and her family runs a go-kart operation where we're able to race. And it just kind of came about with, hey, if you're interested in this, you know, there's a warehouse. And
so you actually started dating dated a racing chick. Absolutely. Versus dragging her to the racetrack, and she got to like it.
Absolutely.
That doesn't happen often. Congratulations.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah. For our side of the show, it's a rarity.
Yeah. So it was, if you're interested in racing, then you can go to the warehouse and you can pull a chassis out, and we'll get you some gear, and you can go and chase the dream.
Cool. So, how long has that been? How long ago was that when you first started karting?
7 years now. I've been running karts now.
And you're busy.
I'm very.
Yeah. Tell us all the things you get to run on the course of a season.
Yeah, so with running the Yamaha Masters class with the Mid-American Sprint Series, newly formed race series, I'm in a go-kart at least once a month throughout the entire summer, and then running locally at the club level with Road America on Saturdays. So there's a lot of back-to-back doubleheaders, even sometimes back-to-back with Badger on a Sunday as well, racing locally there, and just trying to be in a go-kart every single weekend as much as I can.
Now, one thing I noticed on the Road America website, you can go there and find out more about the karting club by going to roadamerica.com, click on the track, and get on the track, and then click the tab for the kart club, and that's where I found the information that you're not racing every Saturday, which is kind of nice. You can actually do other things and travel and not have to worry about, I got a points race on Saturday, I can't do that wedding, or I can't do this, or I can't do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's really kind of a flexible schedule. What's nice is we're in a lull right now where we have literally about a month off. So we've got some other races that we can use to fill the gaps and get out and do some testing, or even do a good amount of practice and work with the other guys within our team, helping them out at nationals, or just getting stuff together within the engine shop and just being busy.
And George, when it comes to the Mid-American Sprint Series, there's also a website for that, midamericankarting.com.
Correct.
On there, I noticed you already ran 2 races, or is it 3 already out of the 5-race series?
Yeah, we've run 3 already out of the 5. So we're going to have our 4th year coming up at Road America in July. And I'm really excited about that race. It's a home race for me. I am leading the points championship with the Mid-American Series. And it's going to be a dual race. So we're going to race Saturday and Sunday. It's a doubleheader.
So you have point races on both days then?
That is correct.
All right.
Yep. So we have 2 features. We have a Saturday feature and a Sunday feature, and we run preheats and qualifying both days. So we run a carbon copy of a Saturday into a Sunday schedule.
With as busy as that sounds, and as you mentioned, you've got a week off, but not really, because I know firsthand by watching and being part of, okay, they let me change gears, and that's about it. Wipe the thing down, check the air pressure, mount tires, all the fun jobs I got to do with my brother's racing karts. It's a constant deal. Do you have 1 kart or 2 karts you get to maintain for racing on the schedule you do?
For the schedule I have, I run just one kart. We've got a warehouse that's pretty chock full, so if we do need spares or we do need a chassis or a different seat, we have the ability to run back to the warehouse, get those parts, bring them back to the track, and then tune from there.
So your factory of goodies is how far from the Road America Motorplex?
The warehouse is based right near Slinger, right near the Speedway.
All right.
So it's not a far drive from where we're located.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not far from anywhere, really. Get over to, if you throw a gear at Dousman, you're like, I need to have the 66 tooth back. I got to find another one. Boom, you can go there too. When it comes to racing and the karts you get to race, we mentioned Yamaha Masters. You're 6th in points as well at the Road America Kart Club, the Yamaha Heavy. Heavy means that's the weight of the kart with the driver. When it comes to different classes, what made you decide two-cycle and Yamahas? Because there's a lot of different choices out there.
Yeah, the two-cycle stuff was really kind of put into my lap, mainly because my father-in-law owns a company called Two Cycle Technology, and Scott's been racing for a long time. I did beat him last year in the championship.
There you go.
I put together a Cinderella season and ended up winning
Congrats.
3 out of the last 4 to win the championship over Scott. But
Nice.
he's freshening a motor up for me right now. So hopefully that'll be the turning point of my season to where I can hopefully go back-to-back at Road America.
Well, that's even a better thing. You can actually match with him what you did, what you didn't do, almost as a teammate to help that engine get better over the course of the season.
We share some notes to an extent.
I heard the word some in there.
Right. So some stuff is shared, other stuff is a little more kept secret. But he helps me out, and I help him out, or try to help him out as much as I can. But he's really been a huge mentor to me, as well as my brother-in-law Mark. He's a national championship. He's on the WK circuit, and he's a very talented go-kart driver. And
Nice.
he really helps me out too.
Give us the goods again. When's your next race at the Road America Kart Club, and when's the next time you're in action in the MidAmericanKarting.com, I'll say, MidAmericanKarting.com. They can find out more in the Mid-American Sprint Series.
So July 25th will be our next race at Road America. We have a couple races later in August and September. We even race under the lights. We have a couple night races.
Nice.
Yeah, which is usually one right around my birthday time in September, which is always a great time.
Cool.
And then July 11th through the 12th will be our race with the Mid-American Sprint Series at Road America.
At the Motorplex, not the 4-mile course, but the actual beautiful road. I mean, that course can be multi-configurations, but primarily when you race there, and I've had a chance to take a kart around that track, I find it very challenging because I'm not that good. But is it the same configuration with that course, or does it vary from week to week or series to series?
One of the good things that the staff does at Road America is they actually run the series one configuration for the beginning part of the season, and then we have a different configuration for night races, and then for the remainder of the races, they actually change the configuration up, take an island turn or two out, kind of make a big sweeper or a Monza. So there's a lot of variety throughout the season, not just running the same track, but they can make multitudes of configurations with that track.
Exactly. That's pretty cool. George, you brought your Arai helmet. Thanks for bringing that to display. Anybody you want to thank in addition to who may have supplied that helmet, or anybody that's helping you on the team this year?
Yeah, I want to thank mainly my family, as well as my brother and father-in-law, my sister-in-law, and all the Vielguts, National Kart Supply, Two Cycle Technology, my wife, Haas Karts. We're the direct importer, so I'm a factory driver per se, which is great. And Bridgestone and everyone else that helps put karting on, Road America and everyone else involved in the sport.
Well, thanks for coming down, and thanks for making the effort to say, we got to talk more about it. You're welcome back anytime. Thank you. How about I stand for George Houle? Thank you, George. Appreciate all the info. And congrats on the continued success. Champion last year. Hope that backs it up July 11 and 12. Round number 4 of the Mid-American Sprint Series at Road America. Find out more at MidAmericanKarting.com or the Mid-American Sprint Series. You can go there in person. It'd be better to go to Road America and do that. Also, you can find out more at RoadAmerica.com. He's going to sign our MB sign backdrop. When we come back, we're talking drag racing with Dave Hohenstein, our drag race report. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee on the Big 920. And I'm Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel are experts in automotive repair. From minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. For 23 years, Oak Creek Automotive has Milwaukee's South Side covered when it comes to know-how and automotive repair. Call Oak Creek Automotive at 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday 7 a.m. till 9 p.m., and Fridays, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Head to Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel for all your auto repair needs.
It's the social event of the summer. It's the Hawk with Brian Redmond. Coming to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
July 16th through the 19th.
Experience the largest vintage racing weekend in the United States. Featuring over 400 priceless vehicles. A 4-day event will showcase historic Can-Am and pay tribute to the 60th anniversary of the Chevrolet V8. Here's your chance to drive Road America in your own sports car
Or sedan.
during the noon touring activity brought to you by Associated Bank. For more information, visit roadamerica.com or call 800-365-RACE. Road America, your national park of speed.
Thank you for holding with a personal message while you wait.
Hi, this is Richard Petty from my friends at Schaefer Oil. Thank you for calling. I got them running down the person you're trying to reach. They'll be with you in just a minute. And by the way, did you know we use Schaefer's Oil in our Richard Petty driving experience cars? Yeah, we love it too. Hey, hold on, and someone will be right with you. Just a minute. Thanks for calling.
With the crazy price of gas or diesel, improve your fuel mileage today with Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants. Schaefer's neutral gasoline additive can improve your mileage up to 10%, roughly 2 to 3 miles to the gallon more than you are getting right now. Schaefer's premium diesel additive improves mileage of 1.5 to 1 mile a gallon more, and it's been tested to improve diesel pickup truck mileage up to 2 miles per gallon. Schaefer's Rep Chris Hauser can get you the best deal. At $4 a gallon, you cannot afford not to call Chris Hauser. To improve your fuel mileage today, call Chris Hauser, the Racers Schaefer Specialized Lubricants rep, at 262-860-1004. That's 262-860-1004.
If you want to eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races, then you should hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack. His motor coaches get the best parking spots. Let someone else worry about race traffic after the race. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Talladega, Charlotte, Joliet, Daytona, Michigan, and more. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Boring Bob has great packages for NASCAR, Winston Cup, and Busch Series events, including hotel rooms. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed every Tuesday night on the local racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports. Live on WOKY AM, the Big 920 Milwaukee, and on WTSO AM, the Big 1070 Madison. There's still time to join the racing crowd for tonight's live broadcast at Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Once again, here is the voice of NASCAR at the track. You hear him on MRN's NASCAR coverage and as a pit reporter on Fox Sports 1, the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Tretow.
Hey, everybody. Glad to have you along on a Tuesday night. It's always fun to talk racing, and we do it now for 31 years, about the last 11 here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. I want to thank the great folks here at Paulies. Paulie and the gang getting geared up, of course, for State Fair here in about a month and a half or so. Not even that. It's about 5 weeks away from State Fair. Should be a lot of fun. But they have great drink specials every Tuesday, $2.50 domestics. They've got $4 hamburgers, $5 for the fancy ones, and you can add, I think, fries or chips for $1.50, something like that, every Tuesday. Great specials every night of the week. Find them on Facebook, Paulies Pub and Eatery, online as well. The menus are all there, and enjoy it. They got a bunch of TVs here as well to see everything that's going on. You got a great staff working here at Paulies every Tuesday and every night of the week and every day. Pizza oven is open late if you're hankering for something. Brewers shuttles every home game from Paulies to and from. So Summerfest shuttles every day of Summerfest starting at noon. Lots going on, including the world of drag racing. Dave Hohensey's joining us. Dave, thanks for coming back on. This is a big deal. This is one of our best drag racing segments. I'm thinking probably the season tonight.
Jim,
no pressure,
thanks a
no
lot.
Pressure, no pressure.
It is. I mean, it is. I thought I would have something to talk about me racing on Sunday at Great Lakes Dragaway, but nothing happened there.
Did you get in the car?
I got in the car.
And?
Actually, the gentleman next to me will understand this. In four rounds, I didn't go 4 rounds, but in 4 runs, the car varied 6 thousandths. First round, I broke out by 4 thousandths. Second round, I lost by 6 thousandths. I think John DiPiazza can understand. He's had days like that. But on Saturday, Memphis, Tennessee, in front of Elvis, he was there watching. I have this confirmed. My guest here, John T. Biazza, won $25,000. And there's the trophy.
And he said, yeah, I'll come back on the radio show. But I stand for John D. Piazzi, Money Man.
I like that, Money Man.
You schooled them, baby, and you brought some giveaways, including this fine DeWalt drill that I keep playing with. You got 25 G's. How did that happen?
I don't really know. It's still a little surreal. I sat in the motorhome after I won it and looked at the ceiling for a good hour and a half, thinking to myself, how did I do that?
Well, if you listen to our show on Tuesday nights, we were live at Paulies Pub a couple weeks ago. Your sponsor. You like hanging out with Dawn and Evan and everybody there. So at Playoffs, we did our show there. You were on the broadcast saying, if everything goes right, I get things scraped together, we're going to Memphis, and you were hoping to do okay. How did the weekend go where it got to be where you were the man with the big check at the end?
To be honest, I really don't know. On Friday, the heat got to me. There was about 115 heat index down there.
Whoa.
I ended up basically in another world for a little while. I decided not to race on Saturday morning and raced Saturday afternoon, and everything just clicked, and I had just wonderful people behind me. I had great support from some friends that told me just to keep my head up and just keep it rolling, and we ended up at about 8 o'clock with a check for 25 grand, and it couldn't be any better.
That was all on Saturday?
All on Saturday.
Wow. What do you think you may have missed, or what was the added worries knowing that you skipped the possible round or two Saturday morning? Did that mean your time had to get better? Or you had less passes? I guess give us some more detailed info on the casual fan side. Like me, I don't know everything about drag racing.
I looked at it as a relaxation standpoint.
Okay.
I took some time in the motorhome. Everybody else was up bright and shiny in the morning, 8 a.m., trying to go racing, and I just used it as, you know what, I don't need to race right now. I didn't feel good last night, and let me just relax, and it paid off.
Dave, ONC, take us behind this. John's a very, very humble guy.
Right.
Everybody in the world that has a bracket racing car shows up for these.
Exactly. Okay. Everybody goes there with the hope that they can win. Okay. I mean, otherwise you're not going to go there and spend your money. All right. And most of the time you go a few rounds, and sometimes you get into the money rounds, and it's not all that often that you go 9 rounds. Now, at an NHRA national event, they only go 4 rounds to win. This is 9 rounds of bracket racing. That's a lot, okay? And sometimes you're just there and it's the end of the rainbow. I mean, I did it a number of years ago in Cordova. I didn't win $25,000, okay, but I went 9 rounds and I won the 50th anniversary race for $2,000, and I still have the trophy. All right, I mean, it's not the money. Okay, yes, the money's nice. It's the fact that you can compete against the best of the best that are down there, and you're as good as they are on any given day, John. I mean, you'd have to agree with that.
And thanks to Facebook, I got to see the final pass. The final run. You in the left lane with your Vega against what appeared to be a Sportsman top fuel car, maybe?
It's just your normal bracket dragster.
All right.
I had a guy by the name of Kenny Underwood tell me in the 3rd round, he looks at me and he says, the reason that we separate door cars from dragsters is so dragsters have a chance.
Aha.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I was the only door car to win all weekend.
Wow.
So it's pretty humbling. I don't think it's fully set in yet.
And for those who, like me, saw it in on, so I had to see it 2 or 3 times, we're now on the radio. We have to describe this. It seemed like you left on time because bracket racing pairs up where you are to reach the finish line at a certain point at a certain index for your car, matching up with the competitor's car. We may have a different index, and this seemed to be forever. You took off and went, and all of a sudden I'm waiting, 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. I was getting antsy. I knew the outcome. What was it like for you knowing that you're racing a dragster that's going to come by you real quick here any moment, and you hope to beat him to the line or beat him to your index?
I was talking to a good friend tonight, and everything happened so fast that I never really fully looked at the time slip.
All right.
I went down, and I knew that I was extremely good on the tree. I assumed that he was going to be. I'm only going 6 seconds. He's going 5 seconds an eighth mile, so everything happens very fast. I saw him rolling up on me. I knew that I was going to get something done, and my wind light came on. I probably made the best mistake, I guess you could ever call it.
What'd you do? Or not do?
I ripped it twice, and I was dead on one, and he broke out my fourth thou.
If you wouldn't have ripped it twice, you're one thou under, and
I would have broke out by more.
Yep, probably a little more.
All right, for those who need a translation like me, what does that mean? You have to burp the gas to get to your...
Yeah, exactly.
All
so
right.
everything we do is by thousands. Like he was talking before, you misjudge something once, you can pretty much screw up your whole day. And luckily, I misjudged something on the right point, and everything worked out perfect.
So you burped the gas once, then twice, knowing you could not exceed your index. If
Yep.
you went over, you're done.
Yep.
Like, see you later. I don't care if it's 1/10,000th of a second. If you're over that index, good night.
Good night.
But you burped it twice, and it
And it worked.
Magic.
It matched.
Wow.
It was magic.
Magic, right.
Magic, yes, exactly.
And because Johnny can swivel his head 360 degrees in that Vega, he knew exactly where the dragster was. And Stephalis Jr. over there, he knows what I'm talking about. He can do that.
You said you do some viewing when you're in the car. Over those 9 rounds, even looking at the sheets, how much did you study knowing either it's the competition or knowing what you have versus who you may be paired up with? You look at it like an NCAA bracket and going, okay, I'm here, I'm looking for that guy, and that guy. When we get to here, I need to beat this guy. How involved is that process overall when you have so many different varying speeds?
With us, we just pull in the lanes.
Okay.
There's no ladders, no nothing
Oh,
like
okay.
that. So it's kind of a surprise when you get there. I raced door cards for the first 4 rounds. Everybody's relatively the same speed. I don't think that one of those races was decided by more than 4,000ths.
Wow.
I got to the dragster stuff. Dragsters are definitely have the advantage on us. And once I started going through those, my last 4 rounds, except for 1 round, was a dragster. And it was just a matter of, I can't even explain it. The kind of day was just gone.
And then go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, the professional classes, their ladder, they know who they're running. They kind of have idea.
That's why I assumed
number
it would
1
assimilate.
runs number 16. You know you got them by 1,500ths. You back off on the tune-up. Bracket racing, you don't care. You can't care who's next to you. You don't care. You put your number on, you cut a light, you run to the finish line, and you hope your win light comes on. You don't care who's over there, because a guy who's terrible can beat you, and a guy who's world champion can beat you, or you're just a regular guy and you can beat them. So it's a little different. You don't care. You pull in the lanes, put your helmet on, strap the belts on, and go.
So, John, I see the video, also the clip of you in winner's circle at the backdrop. And it looked like you were pretty humbled by getting the trophy handed to you. But tell us the goods. How'd that all go down? And that trophy is pretty special. It's still in one piece, thankfully. But that had to be a pretty cool moment.
It was unreal. Actually, on Wednesday before I left, I went to the store and I bought some Coors Light and some other stuff, and I went and I saw about Elasti when I passed. I sent a bunch of buddies some text messages. I said, one of us is going to win this weekend.
Nice.
On Friday, one of my good buddies got down to 3 cars, and I thought we were using it on him. I had forgot all about it. Next thing I know, I had beer in my back and champagne in my eyes, and it was it's still...
So that's what the look was. I never got that. Okay.
I tell you what's most impressive to me about John's win. I've known him since he's been like 9 or 10 years old, sweeping floors in A&A Tire in the garage, okay, at the tire shop, and then busting down tires at like 12 years old because his dad, Jerry, just worked him to death, okay? But he comes from a racing family, okay? And he's got brothers that have raced. They do well. And we all know that he has the talent. The key thing is he's driving an old Vega, which his dad started in. It's got to be, 35 years old, Johnny? Maybe a little more, okay? It's there. And it's not the best of equipment, but it works, and he's made it work, and he won with it. I mean, to me, that combination is what's really impressive to me. It gives all us guys that don't have a lot of money, that just have, I call it hillbilly cars, whatever you want to call them, okay? If it's your day, it's your day. You got to keep focused, and you go with the flow.
Another sports-related question. I see this trophy. I saw you told me you had a big check, $25,000. Does this win get you in an exemption of any sort in the next round, or the next race, or the next big money bracket race?
I probably make stuff harder for me, to be honest.
Yeah, just turn around, show them the big X on your back, the bullseye, okay?
Right.
Because you're looking for him, I'm looking for him, because we're going to take down the showdown champ. Maybe the next time we race him.
I hope it gains some sort of respect for me at some point. I don't expect anybody to let me give me anything, I can tell you that.
They know what you won. You know what you won. What is next now? Is this going to change anything? You're going to race more, race less? Buy something different?
I told my wife before we left that all the things I'm going to buy if I happen to win, and now I can't buy them because all I want to do is go racing more.
Oh, that's funny.
We're going to go.
She's like saying, yeah.
We're going to go to Michigan here at the end of July.
Right.
We'll race for $50,000 down there. If everything goes well, we may go down to
going to the $1 million. Come
yes,
on.
Yeah,
all right.
That's where I was getting with that.
In October. I like it.
We're going to go down to the $1 million, hopefully. With our motorhome, it's kind of tough. We actually, on the way home in the rain, we ran out of battery, and I didn't have any windshield wipers or anything like that.
All right.
So, all I really want to do is race and just have a good time. And nothing can get better than that as far as racing goes.
Here's the thing: if you do something else, that's terrific, and if you don't, it's okay. All right, because you've been there, man. All right, and it may come again, it may not. You just in this game, you know that. You just never know.
Well, that's for sure. I went on a drought. I went on for a good year drought before I had any win, and I didn't think I was going to have anything. And to have that as my first win of the season this year is pretty special.
It's okay. Where will they see you next if you already have that plan? Not the big money race, but do you plan on doing more drag racing in the area?
Oh, yeah. We're actually leaving Friday morning to go down to Byron Raceway, or Rockford, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do their July 4th race. We're in the 64-car shootout down there. I don't remember how much it's for. I know that I got a call and asked if I wanted to enter it. I said, here you go, here's $250. I'll be happy to race.
Yeah, entry fee that you may never see again, but then again, that pays for everybody to have a better time and cash out, right?
I thought about that trophy right there. That seemed to work out.
You thought you were donating $250 to go play in Memphis.
It was a little more than that.
You get my point, though, but John, this is exciting. And I'm glad you're here to celebrate and join us. Who'd you bring with you? Who's helping you celebrate here tonight at Paulies?
All of our friends. There's people that I wish were here. The only thing that would have made my day a little more perfect in Memphis is if a lot of these people were here, my wife and my kids, and just, that day couldn't have been any better. And if they were all would have been here, it would have been awesome.
And Dave, give us a final snapshot here. What's the buzz in our area? Byron, Great Lakes, you, your buddies, any bracket racers in the area? It's a pretty big win for everybody.
I mean, it is. I mean, everybody is really happy. We raced Sunday at the track, and the announcer knew about it, so we announced it, and we got to enjoy. We race against one another. Between Byron and Great Lakes, we kind of go back and forth, and it's tough competition. We're all friends, and we always feel good when somebody we know goes south and brings home the money, as we say, okay?
Yep.
So, so it's good. And, when you get that chance, everybody celebrates. But not 2 weeks from now, on Sunday, okay, we've got a points race at Great Lakes, and nobody's going to cut this man any slack. We're all going to be gunning for him. I think I'm 0-2 again. No, I know I'm 0-2 against them. Okay, not think. I know. And they were both close races, but it's like, I'm going to get that kid. I'm going to get him. Remember him sweeping floors. I'm going to get him, okay? So, but that's what we like, and that's what we do. Everybody has respect for one another, and you don't take anybody lightly. If you do, you wouldn't be sitting here where John is with this trophy and a $25,000 check. And his dad taught him that. And I have to mention, your brother Andrew was down there. What'd he finish?
They have a small points thing, which I didn't do real well in, but he ended up third. So it's kind of a good weekend for the DiPiazzas.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, and you brought along a DeWalt drill and some DiPiazza Mania T-shirts. That's one of your sponsors that you said, hey, I need to take some of the radio show. Thank you for doing that, because someone tonight at the show is going to win this.
Yeah, Napa Greenfield, certainly. I just asked for maybe like a T-shirt or something like that, and they gave a $100 drill. You can't beat that.
Yep, comes in the fancy bag. You brought some T-shirts as well. Who else do you want to thank here tonight for making this possible as far as sponsors go?
Obviously, the last time I was on the show, I kind of forgot my wife over there.
No, I thought we talked about her.
We might have.
We did. Yeah.
But Scotty,
trying to cover for you.
Scotty K at Chubby Kid Streetcar certainly made my car the way it is. BTE down in Tennessee certainly made my car the way it is. My folks, my brother especially, if it wasn't for, there's probably 10 million people I could thank, but you kind of get a loss of words.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
The right foot did the talking. It burped her twice, and boom, there you go, win light. That's got to be a great feeling.
It's surreal.
And Dave, where are you off to next?
Antigo, Wisconsin, 4th of July. I'm going up on the pontoon boat and a little fishing, a little beer drinking here or there.
Nice.
Then the following Friday, I'm going to Route 66 to spectate, all right, for, the NHRA event.
Yeah, we have tickets to Sunday's event. We're going to do it tonight after the show.
And then on Saturday, I'm going back down there again because my kids last year bought me a NASCAR ride-along, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going down there. I wanted to make the guy, I said, I'm going to tell him, make me scream like a girl, okay? All right, when he takes me up close to the wall, which I probably will. And on Sunday on the 12th, then it's a bracket race. And I'm going to try to stay away from a man sitting next to me here, but, whatever. We just go for it. So that's kind of what's on my platter.
We're excited for both of you to do well this weekend and the following weekend, and looking forward to maybe bagging another one of these cool trophies. So what I say for John DiPiazza and Dave Hohensee, a very special Drag Race Report. Guys, thanks for coming on the show again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for bringing the trophy. We got some tickets to give away. We got a drill to give away from Napa Greenfield. Thanks to John and his great friends and sponsors for coming tonight as well. Tickets are on sale now for the NHRA Nationals at Route 66. Go to Route66Raceway.com. We're taking a commercial break. When we come back, more Tretos than you ever thought possible on the Racing Roundup Show, perhaps more than we've ever heard at one time. Stay tuned. My nephews are in town from Charlotte. We're talking to Jake and Nate Treto next on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned. You're listening to us in Milwaukee in the Big 920. And on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
There's only one place you'll find Racing Roundup's Dave Schmauser on Sundays during NASCAR races, at Playoffs Pub, where Layton Avenue meets Forest Home at 82nd Street in Greenfield. NASCAR Sunday specials at Playoffs Pub include $2.50 domestic bottles and $5 domestic pitchers. Playoffs Pub has 2 volleyball courts and a huge yard to host your next summer party. They sponsor pool, darts, fantasy football leagues, softball, and kickball teams, too. Weekday happy hours, 2 to 6 p.m., offering buy one, get one rails and domestic beers. Like Playoffs Pub on Facebook. Get into watching races with other NASCAR fans at Playoffs Pub, 8222 West Forest Home Avenue in Greenfield.
It's the social event of the summer. It's the Hawk with Brian Redmond.
Coming to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. July 16th through the 19th.
Experience the largest vintage racing weekend in the United States, featuring over 400 priceless vehicles. The 4-day event will showcase historic Can-Am and pay tribute to the 60th anniversary of the Chevrolet V8. Here's your chance to drive Road America in your own sports car
or sedan
during a new touring activity brought to you by Associated Bank.
For more information, visit roadamerica.com
or call 800-365-RACE. Road America.
America, your national park of speed.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
The action is explosive! This Thursday, July 2nd at Los Allis Speedway as the UMP Late Model Summer Nationals invade the quarter-mile high bank action track. And at dusk, you won't want to miss this mega fireworks display. That's this Thursday, July 2nd at Los Allis Speedway. Kids 7 to 3. Racing starts at 7. Bring the kids. They're always free. It's the UMP Late Model Summer Nationals and a huge fireworks display at Los Allis Speedway Thursday.
At Los Allis Speedway. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Sponsored in part by Complete Heat Treating. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show, live in Milwaukee in the Big 920, live on the Big 1070. Back here next Tuesday at Paulies Pub and Eatery. Road America had a wonderful weekend for the Pirelli World Challenge. It was the DeVilbiss Grand Prix at Road America presented by a Cadillac. We had drivers on the last 2 weekends. Johnny O'Connell finished 7th on Friday. He finished 8th on Saturday, 8th on Sunday in his Cadillac. Our real-time racers that were on last week, Peter Cunningham 9th on Friday. They had 3 races, if you recall. Peter finished a disappointing 13th on Saturday, and Friday dropped 3 laps off at 23rd. Ryan Eversley, his teammate for the Acura all-wheel drive machine, finished 23rd on Friday. He finished 10th on Saturday and 9th on Friday. He also got the Hard Charge Award in 2 of those 3 races. Over 100 cars competing. Dave Coleman of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel was there all weekend. You can find out more details and results and all fun things on Dave's website, jsonline.com, and click over the auto racing link on the sports page. That helps everybody keep coverage here in our area. This coming Sunday is the Badger Pepsi Midget Nationals. Look for that. It should be a lot of fun. This coming Thursday night, the UMP Summer Nationals visit the Los Allis Speedway. We talked to our special guest at the top of the show. This coming Friday night at Manitowoc is the Harbortown Showdown. Scotty Thiel and the boys in action. IRA back there for the first time in 12, 13 years. Harbortown Showdown. Find out more at irasprints.com. We've got a few minutes left in the show, so my nephews are visiting for a couple of weeks. So I thought, hey, you know what? We talked about them in our short track report. Now let's get them up here for their debuts as teenagers, shall we say. I think we had Jake on before. Let's have what I stand for Jake and Nathan Tretow. Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to Wisconsin.
Thank you very much.
Jake, we'll start with you. You said you were on the show a long time ago, but there's a whole lot that's gone on since. You just have run the Charlotte Motor Speedway Summer Shootout Series. It's bandos and legends racing on the racetrack. Pit lane's the back stretch. The front stretch is the actual front stretch of the track, with the turns in the grass, if you will. How long have you been doing that? How's your season been going?
This is my second summer shootout, and we were doing pretty good. We had a good run last year and only ran 8 of the 10 races because we had an engine blow up and some electrical problems. And we came back this year and ended up with 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s and wrecked last week, and I'm missing it tonight because we wrecked. So
You're here in Wisconsin.
yeah, we're here till the end of State Fair.
All right.
So we got plenty of time. We're
Good.
working on Uncle Tim's super late model.
Tim Latman, by the way, races the super late model at Slinger Super Speedway, the Dells, and other places. Gearing up for the big Slinger Nationals. You'll be here for that too?
Yeah, if we get the car done.
Well, I'm sure you guys will be on it. More hands on deck for Uncle Tim. Now, your brother over here, Nathan, has done a fine job racing bandoleros extensively up through last year. Now he's got the wrench in hand for you in the Legends cars. Nate, what do you enjoy about racing those kind of cars at Charlotte and everywhere else you get the chance to race it?
Well, it's just something to drive. It's better than nothing.
So you ran karts. You guys did very well. You've got state championships in karting. So when it comes to driving something, have you both been able to drive, or has it been kind of take your turn stuff?
It's been mostly take your turn. He started in a bando, and he did really well. And then I got a Legend car, and now we sold his car. And if you guys have been keeping track of Legends and bando racing up here, if you've ever heard of Colin Slife,
yeah,
that kid bought our car, and he just won at the Dells Saturday.
Cool.
So that's our car. That's what we do. Apparently, we make a pretty good one if they can bring it up here and win.
I'd say. And your duties may include, Jake, working for the WKA and a national event. You get to travel some doing that.
Yep. I went to Daytona with Man Cup while I was busy trying not to get run over by the Man Cup guys. I was watching the road race stuff go on, and I've been to a couple of Gold Cup races this year, and there's some awesome kids in that. You'll have to watch out for those guys.
Absolutely, and that's where it all gets going on a big level. We thank you for coming down, guys. I know they were hanging out at the show, and thanks to Nathan for saying you should really get us on. Well, I'm glad we had time to do that. How about I say for Jake and Nathan Tretow? Thanks, guys. I know Dad's listening and watching back home in Charlotte. He works for that 4888, as in Hendrick Motorsports, Jimmy Johnson and that Dale Jr. guy. Yeah, that guy.
Whoever that is.
Too busy to hang out with us, but that's okay. You guys are here with us. We're glad to have you on the program. If you want to be on the program, go to racingroundup.net and let us know by saying, I want to be a guest on the show. We've got a great one tonight. Until next Tuesday at Paulies, and on behalf of the entire staff here. Our show is awesome. 31 years of doing it. Come join us next Tuesday night. Until then, have at it, racers.